On March 31st, 2026, the AI world got completely turned on its head by one of the biggest code leaks we've seen in a long time. Anthropic, a company that's all about AI safety, accidentally pushed the entire source code for its main product, Claude Code, out into the open. So today, we're going to dig in and find out exactly how this happened, what secrets were hiding inside, and what this all means for the future of AI.
All right, here's how we're going to break it all down. First, we'll talk about the initial shock of this mistake. Then, we'll get into the nitty-gritty of how it happened. After that, we're diving into the treasure trove of secrets found inside the code, what this means for Anthropic's competitors, and finally, what the future looks like after a leak this big.
To really get a handle on just how big of a deal this was, you have to appreciate the irony. Anthropic has built its entire reputation on being the most careful, the most safety-focused AI lab out there. And the reaction online? It was immediate. It was huge. Experts like Shakti Vadakapet didn't pull any punches, calling it the mothership of all code leaks. Not because it was some super sophisticated hack, but because of how unbelievably simple the mistake was.
And this slide right here really just puts it all in perspective. On one side, you've got this company that advises governments on the dangers of AI. A company that was apparently gearing up for a mind-boggling $380 billion IPO. And on the other side, the cause of this whole mess was a basic packaging mistake. A simple human error, something that should have been caught.
So, let's get into the technical details. How in the world does one single file expose a product that's worth billions of dollars to the entire world?
While the culprit wasn't some evil genius hacker, it was a type of file called a source map. Now, these things are super useful for developers. They let you debug your code when it's live. But, and this is a huge but, they are absolutely positively never supposed to be shipped in a public release.
The best analogy I've heard for this is just perfect. Imagine you spend millions on security for your house, the best alarms, cameras, guards, the whole 9 yards, and then you just post the detailed architectural blueprints online for anyone to download. That is pretty much exactly what Anthropic did here.
And the file itself, clyjs.map, it was enormous. We're talking 59.8 megabytes. To put that into context, that's like a 10,000-page book written purely in code. It was the master key, the entire blueprint for their application.
So with just this one file, a security researcher named Chaufan Shode was able to piece together about 500,000 lines of code. That's across almost 2,000 separate files, basically laying the entire client side of Claude Code completely bare for the world to see.
Okay, this is where the story gets really juicy. Because this leak gave everyone, competitors, researchers, you name it, a completely unprecedented peek behind the curtain at the incredibly sophisticated and totally secret features Anthropic was building. Developers immediately started pouring through the code, and what they found was an absolute goldmine. They discovered this unique self-healing memory system designed to stop the AI from getting confused. They found crazy advanced stuff like the ability for the AI to create multiple worker agents to solve problems. They even found all the internal code names for their models, like Capybara and Fennec, and a whopping 44 hidden flags for features that weren't even released yet. One of the biggest finds was a system called Kairos. Get this, it's an always-on assistant that's just working in the background, cleaning up memory and organizing things even when you're not using it. It's proactive. And then there was something called the dream system. And yes, it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a process where the AI literally dreams once a day to organize what it's learned. This is a huge deal because it's a direct shot at solving one of the biggest problems in AI, long-term memory, and stopping it from hallucinating during long chats.
And maybe the most bizarre and charming discovery of all was Buddy. The code had a fully built-out Tamagotchi-style digital pet meant to be your little companion inside the coding tool. It had different species, rarity levels, and even personality stats like snark and chaos. Wild, right?
But here's the kicker, the absolute best part. Buried deep inside all of this code that was just leaked to the entire planet was a feature called undercover mode. And what did it do? It was designed to stop Anthropic employees from accidentally leaking internal secrets. You just can't make this stuff up.
All right, so let's zoom back out. A leak like this isn't just a technical screw-up that's kind of embarrassing. It has massive, real-world consequences, both strategically and financially, for Anthropic and for the entire AI industry.
And the financial stakes here are just astronomical. We're talking about a product that brings in a reported $2.5 billion in revenue a year. And it's from a company that was supposedly on its way to a jaw-dropping $380 billion IPO. So yeah, this leak hits them right where it hurts.
So the fallout is it's huge, and it hits them from all sides. First, their competitors were basically handed a free blueprint to their secret sauce. Second, their reputation as the safety-first company took a major hit. Third, bad actors can now study their code to look for weaknesses. And finally, and this could be the biggest problem of all, it brings up some really tricky legal issues. See, since AI probably wrote a lot of this code, it might not even be protected by copyright law. What a mess.
So, where do we go from here? What does this mean for you if you're a user? And what are the next steps for anyone who relies on this tool?
Well, for users and for companies, security experts have laid out 4 pretty clear steps. First, get off the old version and switch to Anthropic's official installer. Second, obviously, uninstall the version that was compromised. Third, do a full security audit. Check everything your project relies on and change your API keys. Think of it like changing all the locks on your house. And finally, adopt what they call a zero-trust posture, which basically means be extra careful about what you let Claude Code connect to.
And this all leaves us with one final, really provocative thought. Developers have already started copying the leaked code into other programming languages, and their argument is that since an AI generated it, it isn't covered by copyright. So this leak didn't just expose a company's secrets, it exposed a massive legal gray area that could change the entire software industry. It makes you wonder, who really owns the future of software?
Thanks for watching the video. For more exciting news on AI, follow SimplfyTech.